Mike nickname didn't really make sense because kid's real name is Darren. Oh my gosh, we made our first $2. No, we actually made $1. We gotta pay the security guard. Here. In some neighborhoods, kids run lemonade stands. You know, cute little summer businesses, 50 cents a cup, smiles all around. Not on this block, though. On this block, you needed protection. Every Saturday in this one neighborhood cul-de-sac area, these kids would all set up their lemonade stands. Some were different. Some had like strawberry lemonade, others had regular lemonade, some was selling like fruit punch. You know, it was a nice little thing that the neighborhood kids were doing. Anyway, they'd be all set up and they're good to go. But then here comes this 8th grader. Bike gloves on, backpack over one shoulder. He pulls up to the first stand. Nice stand he got here. Good traffic spot, nice weather today. Would be a shame if someone knocked it over. The little girl selling lemonade just blinks. She's almost gonna cry. But then her friend says, just give him one of our dollars. Hey, it's just a protection fee, okay? Covers you for the whole day. Accidents happen, you know. Have a good one. And he goes to the next one. You guys paying for protection today? You know, kids are scrambling. They're digging in their shoebox of change. Hands over $1. He nods. Pleasure doing business with you. And just like that, he's off to the next lemonade stand. Kid made $12 in fees that Saturday alone. Now, this guy wouldn't just take the money and leave. And although he came off kind of tough and mean, he actually would stay there all day and watch over these lemonade stands. So I guess they actually were paying for protection. Now, it was a pretty nice neighborhood, so nothing ever actually happened. But, hey, you know, you gotta respect the hustle, I guess. A secret he'll take to the grave. When this guy was a kid, his school had this huge field day event that they did every single year. Basically, on this day, students were free to roam around the school, there were games, prizes, it was incredible. Everyone looked forward to it, but one year, everything changed. On field day, he was grabbing some lunch in the cafeteria. He was messing around with a friend when they saw a little basket of butter packets. He picked it up, put it on the floor, and stepped on it. Yeah. Well, when he stepped on it, the packet popped and the butter shot across the lunchroom like a rocket, sliding on the floor. Dude, that was sick. Let's do it again. They kept stepping on these butter packets one after another, launching the butter across the floor and giggling to themselves. Hee hee hee, this is so fun. Right? Well, apparently all this butter had accumulated some feet in front of them in this kind of butter pile. And a teacher who was carrying a tray ended up walking right over it. I love field day. This is a great thing. He crashed down hard and his tray of food went everywhere. Another teacher ran over. Oh my God, are you okay? No, I'm not okay. He was not okay. Something was seriously wrong. An ambulance was called and he was shipped out. Well, apparently this teacher was injured really badly. It was serious. Field day was shut down then and there. And the next day, the principal got on the intercom. Attention students, due to an unfortunate incident, field day will be canceled indefinitely. We are launching an investigation into the events of yesterday's lunch. And that's when it hit him. Because of their stupid butter pack launching lunchtime, field day was canceled. What does that mean for next year? Well, I'll tell you what it means. There wasn't a field day next year. Or the year after that. He was never caught for what he did. And I guess the cameras in the lunchroom didn't pick up on this at all. This teacher is a monster. So this kid, Ethan, was in 1st grade when he learned his teacher had the worst punishment ever. In this class, the teacher had something called the isolation box. It was a tiny old school desk shoved in the corner of the room, in between a bookshelf and a filing cabinet. And if you got sent there, you had to squeeze into the desk, and the teacher would block you in by pulling the filing cabinet to be flush with the bookcase. So essentially, you'd be stuck in this box. Now, Ethan thought this was like weird and pretty messed up, but he never really questioned it, till one day it happened to him. He was talking during quiet time when the teacher snapped. Ethan! Oh, I'm so sorry. Go to the box now. Once Ethan sits down, she drags the filing cabinet to lock him in. Now, Ethan figured he'd be in there for 5 minutes, tops. But the lesson continued. 5 minutes passed, then 10 minutes, then 20 minutes. Ethan tried to move his legs, he was cramping, but there was no space. He tried to move in his chair, but he couldn't. He was wedged in there pretty good. That's when he realized he was actually stuck. I'm actually stuck. He tried talking. I think I can't get out. But no response. It's as if the entire class was ignoring him. Finally, the bell rang. He thought he was free. But no, apparently the entire class left, and so did the teacher. Help me! Somebody! 10 more minutes pass. The teacher walks in the room and hears him yelling. Oh my God. Well, that's what happens when you don't follow the rules. Now go on. Ethan left the classroom, traumatized. Fast forward 15 years, Ethan is still living in the same town, but he has an incredible job and he's making fantastic money. One morning, he was heading to the office when he wanted to get some coffee. He pulled up to the local coffee shop. Yeah, I'm gonna get a large caramel cappuccino, please. Mrs. Johnson. Ethan, hi. Oh yeah, one cappuccino. He just smiles, and as she hands him his coffee, here you go. He grabs it and then grabs her hand. Am I following the rules now, Mrs. Johnson? Am I following the rules now? Good coffee. He tips her a $20 bill and he leaves. Have a nice life. Oh. One day the school had a guest speaker come for an assembly. The whole school was packed into the gym. Hundreds of students, everyone bored out of their mind. The speaker was some local business guy, and all he was going to be doing was talking about leadership and hard work. Nobody was paying attention until about 20 minutes in, a student, let's call him Kevin, stood up. Excuse me? The entire gym went silent. Everyone looked at him. Even the speaker stopped mid-sentence. And in a serious, confident voice, the kid says, I have a question. Yeah, totally. What's your question? Then Kevin, without hesitation, asked, would you rather fight a gorilla once a year but you get a sword? Or have to fight a chicken every time you open a door forever? The entire gym lost it. The teachers were stunned. The speaker stood there processing. Finally, I think I'd take the gorilla. And Kevin just nodded. Respectable choice. And he sat back down. Well, as you can imagine, the entire assembly was completely derailed. For the next 10 minutes, students were arguing about the gorilla or the chicken. The gorilla's the obvious choice. I mean, what are you gonna do? Every single time you open a door, you gotta fight a chicken? I just won't open doors, you idiot. Like, that's realistic. How are you gonna go forever without opening doors? Principal finally got on the mic. Everybody shut up! And the assembly was cut short right then and there. And after that, the would you rather fight a gorilla or a chicken became the most debated question in this school's history. People were making posters and hanging them on the wall. Gorilla versus chicken. Kevin never really said anything about it after that day. But for the rest of high school, people would walk past him in the hall and just whisper, hey Kevin, respectable choice. And that's how he became a legend. Hey, what's in your bag? Justice. And 5 deviled eggs. So this one school had this thing where students could bring in their own snacks to eat during their mid-morning study session. It was kind of like a study hall, but everybody was in like one area, I guess. Small town school stuff, you know. It was totally chill. As long as you weren't like throwing food or making a mess, nobody cared at all. Well, one mom had a problem. A big one, apparently. Her kid came home one day and told her that somebody sitting next to her was eating tuna and crackers. And she told her mom that the smell made her lose my appetite. It was gross. Also, low-key, I frickin' love tuna. I'm not gonna lie to you guys here. Okay, tuna and crackers, it slaps. Alright, if you don't like tuna, that's fine. But hating on tuna lovers? Okay, I'm done. So the mom emailed the teacher. Hi, I would like to request that no odorous or ugly snacks be permitted during the mid-morning study period. Ugly snacks? This is what she meant by ugly snacks. Tuna, hard-boiled eggs, anything pickled, sardines, olives, blue cheese, strong-smelling beef jerky. The list went on and on and on. She ended it with, let's keep the school a pleasant place for everybody. Perfect. The teacher forwarded that email to the principal. The principal ignored it at first, but the mom kept pushing. She started emailing other parents. She was asking them to talk to their kids about bringing less offensive snacks. Well, this got back to the students, and the students were done with this. They thought this mom was being crazy. That Friday, a group of 7th graders showed up with the smelliest, most ugly snacks that they could find. Sardines, canned oysters, garlic hummus. One kid brought a whole onion. They called it Stink Snack Friday. The teacher tried to shut it down, but they weren't breaking any rules. Like, it's food. The next week, even more kids joined in. One kid found a local fruit dealer and brought in a durian. A durian! And those things frickin' stink! Eventually, the principal sent a message home to all the parents via email. While students are welcome to bring food from home, we are encouraging less aromatic options moving forward. We'll see. But the damage was done. The kids won, and Stink Snack Friday became a tradition. This kid got suspended for selling pencil insurance. So this kid, right, he's kind of smart, he's kind of funny, he definitely knows how to game the system. He notices that every day in every class, someone, every single day, asks to borrow a pencil. So he starts offering a deal. $1 pencil insurance covers you for the entire week. If you lose your pencil, boom, he'll replace it. Need an eraser? You're covered, he's got you. It's actually a good deal. It's way cheaper than buying a full pack at the store. And it absolutely blows up. By Thursday of that week, 15 kids are covered on this pencil insurance. He starts giving out policy numbers. He makes sure that he has one of his insurance agents in every classroom that has an insured client. Carries around a binder, he has terms and conditions. One teacher sees all this and says, "Hey, you can't run a business in class. It's not a business, sir. It's insurance." The next week, he starts offering platinum packages. $3 a week gets you mechanical pencils. $5 a week gets you 2 pencils every time you lose or break 1. That's when the admin gets involved. "Are you selling items on school property?" "No, sir, I'm providing peace of mind." They then suspend him for unauthorized commerce. But on his way out of the building, he sees one of his clients. He says to him, "If you need pencils while I'm gone, talk to my cousin. Spread the word." And his cousin, who did go to that same school, took over for him in his absence. That's absolutely awesome. "No one has ever got 100% in my class." Oh yeah? Watch this. So there's this teacher that every single day brags that no one has ever got 100% in my class. My tests are just too hard. You know, and everyone just kind of tunes her out. But this one kid, let's call him Chris. Chris studies like crazy. He wants to prove her wrong, takes every quiz, takes every chance for extra credit. Final exams come, and he's locked in. He's done, turns it in, he's feeling very confident. The next day, the teacher passes out the exams. 98%? Dang, you did good. Almost too good. Were you cheating? I'm just kidding. My tests are hard. No, I mean I should have got 100%. Okay, settle down, alright? I'm serious. Pull out the answer key. See? Look, right there. Wrong and wrong. Chris looks at the 2 questions she marked wrong. Then he looks at her key. One of them is a trick question. The other answer on her key is just flat out wrong. My answer is right, miss. Your key's wrong. No, it's not. That's absolutely impossible. Chris grabs a textbook off her desk, flips open to the exact page he needs, slaps it down. Right there, paragraph 3. She leans over and reads it. Chris just smiles. "So do I get my 100 or do you need me to grade the rest of the class as well?" She doesn't say a word. She just crosses off the 98% and quickly scribbles 100% on his test. After that day, she never bragged about her tests being hard ever again. "I'm not here to teach. I'm here to keep order." Shut your mouth. There's this substitute, middle school, real power tripping type of guy. Clipboard in one hand, whistle around his neck, looking like he's coaching for the NBA. He walks into class, first thing he says, "Listen up, I'm not here to be your friend, I'm here to keep order." The whole class side-eyes each other like, who does this guy think he is? 15 minutes in, he's handing out detentions like he's Oprah. "You, detention for talking. You, detention for looking out the window, no daydreaming in this class. You, why are you breathing so funny? You making fun of me? Detention." Kid in the back, let's call him Devin, finally speaks up. "Sir, you're here for 45 minutes. Chill. You better watch your tone, young man." Devin leans back in his chair, smiles, and says, "Bro, you're a spirit Halloween manager with a clipboard. Relax." Ooh, yo. The sub's just standing there frozen, clipboard shaking in his hand. Principal hears the chaos and he walks in. Sees the sub standing there red-faced. The sub then starts tearing up and runs out of the classroom. The principal had to finish the class. "Okay, what'd you guys say to him?" "Wasn't even that bad, dude. Bro's just sensitive." Alright, fine. Just open your books. Let's finish the class. The sub never came back to that school. Absolute KO. So this one high school had a basement. Students didn't really know it existed. It was used for maintenance, storage, stuff like that, and it was always locked. Well, one day, this kid, let's call him Jake, was wandering around the school during his free period when he noticed the door to the basement was kind of ajar. The janitor forgot to lock it, so he goes down there. It was a huge, dusty storage room. Old desks, broken chairs, random junk everywhere. But in the middle of the room, there was this tiny metal box that caught his attention. What is that? So he opens it. Inside the box was a single envelope. He picked it up, felt something inside, and he looked. And what he found in there would make his stomach drop. Oh my God. Inside the envelope was an old student ID. The photo was faded. The name was a name he did not recognize, and the date on it 1986. Underneath the ID was a set of car keys, and underneath the car keys, a newspaper clipping. The headline, high school seniors still missing, car found abandoned in school parking lot. He slammed the box shut and ran the heck up the stairs. He was getting out of there. He tried telling a teacher what he saw. The teacher was kind of curious, so she went to the basement door, but it was locked. The janitor walks up. Hi, can I help you? Yeah, one of my students was curious about something in here. Do you mind if I come down here and take a look? Looking for like a metal box or something? Oh, sure. Yeah. She goes down there, but there wasn't a metal box to be found anywhere. She thanks the janitor, goes back upstairs, and tells the student, I don't know what you saw, but there's nothing down there right now, so it must have been your imagination or something. Go to class. But deep down, he knows he came across something very sinister that day. This teacher had a secret drawer. When this guy was in 7th grade, his teacher did this weird thing. She had one drawer in her desk that she'd never opened. She'd grab pencils, papers, even her coffee mug from all the other drawers, but that one drawer, she would never touch. One day while she was out sick, that class had a substitute. And in the middle of a lesson, that sub needed a stapler. I need a stapler. Okay. So she went over to the desk and started opening drawers. Grabbed a few things, and then she got to the forbidden drawer, and she opened it. Well, the students noticed her open this drawer. Oh, what is this? Inside the drawer was a McDonald's bag, perfectly intact. The sub went into the bag and pulled out a medium-sized McDonald's fry. What in the world? It looked normal, like it was just bought yesterday. How long has this been in there? I don't know, miss, but honestly, I would leave it. And she did. She put that right back in the drawer and closed it. The next day, the teacher was back, and everybody was dying to know what was up with those french fries. I hope you guys had a great day yesterday. Yes, I'm feeling much better. Hey, miss? Oh, yeah, Carlos. Why do you have McDonald's fries in your drawer? The teacher just smirked. Because they never rot. I bought them 5 years ago. 5 years? Holy crap. The class was horrified. But they look completely normal. Exactly. That's why I keep them. It's my little experiment. Food should not look like that after 5 years. In that class for the rest of the year, whenever somebody brought up McDonald's or talked about food in general, she would pull out those 5-year-old McDonald's fries, just to make a point how bad fast food is for you.
second year, I'm class 9 এর পোলাবেন প্রেম করে।
মামা, মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি। আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু।
শুনেন বেঞ্চ সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনো।
মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি। কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে গেছে। তুই রবিল নামে সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক।
ভাবি, চিনিকে আমার বন্ধু জিসান দিচ্ছে, প্লিজ ভাবি। আপনি একটু নেন, প্লিজ ভাবি।
দেখেন ভাবি, বন্ধু ধরে না।
আবার কল দেখ।
এই এই দুলাভাই সামনে থাকলে যে সালাম দিতে হয়, আপনি শিখাই নাই তোরা?
যে কোচিং এর সামনে যে গুন্ডাটা দাঁড়িয়ে থাকে, আমার তো মনে হয় পড়াশোনা সব বন্ধ করে দিবে।
আমি তোর প্রেমের গল্প সাকসেসফুল। আমার কথা বিশ্বাস কর।
আমি শুধু একটু প্রেম ভালোবাসাতে, আমি শুধু ওরেই চাই বাবা, আমি শুধু ওরে পাইলে হবে।
ওকে, আমি আপনাকে ভালোবাসি। আচ্ছা, আপনার কাছে একটা প্রশ্ন।
কি রে মাম্মা, কই রে তুই? কতক্ষণ ধরে দাঁড়ায় থাকবো? কনসার্ট তো শুরু হয়ে যাবে। তাইলে তো বন্ধু রিত লেগে গেল।
আরে বেটা, এত লাফাইস না। যেরকম শুনতেছি পরীর মতো, এরকম করলে তো বেটা
যা
পারলে তো ভালো,
দেখা যাক কি করে শালা।
বোবা, হ্যাঁ কথা বলতে পারো না?
বেআইন সাহেব
আসসালামু আলাইকুম বিআইন সাহেব।
এক্সকিউজ মি।
বইলা দিবেন যে আমার বন্ধুর সাথে যেন ভালোভাবে প্রেম করে, নাইলে কিন্তু ঝামেলা আছে।
যেদিকে তাকাই তোমায় দেখতে পাই, কিচ্ছু ভালো লাগে না।
বন্ধু তুই যদি রক্ত দেস
ভালো লাগে না রে দোস্ত।
না দুলা ভাই, আমি তো কোচিং এ যাই নাই, আমার তো বাসায় গেস্ট আসছে আর আমার আম্মু তো একা, এজন্য আমি যাই না।
আমার পড়াশোনা সবকিছু বন্ধ করে দিবে, তখন আমি কি করব?
ঘরে ছাইরা দে,